I don't know if I'll do all three Sheilos today, but at least one or two out of the three. So someone at this week said that he lives in one of the buildings, so there's not that many buildings around here. But okay, there's a few hundred apartments. So, he says the neighbor on top of his apartment is a new neighbor, and the people have a totally different schedule than the regular people. He knows when his neighbor upstairs is sleeping because the air conditioner is running. Doesn't matter if it's 25 degrees outside or 85 degrees outside. And he knows he fell asleep because somewhere after 2 o'clock in the morning finally the banging on top of him stops. The guy is walking back. They're walking and he has a baby and the baby's crying and I can't schlafen. Doesn't know what to do. He's knocking on the door. The betzach rechmonos by the neighbor. What could he do? What could he do? Is his Shiloh to me. Could he take him to Bezdin? Unfortunately, my short answer is he should find himself a different apartment. But let's go through the sugya. There is a common misconception that this Kilub Samayim Chazal called Gezel Sheina. So we'll examine that, and we'll examine also the Taka what's the Halacha very quickly over here. So for top line. So this guy has a couple of tzvardim climbing over his head every day till 2 o'clock in the morning. So his Sheilos is if he can go to Bezdin, then what could he do? Okay, first let's start with the Mishnah. The Mishnah says Chanusha v'chotzer Yochel limchas b'yodem v'layim eni yochel lisha mekala nechnosa mekala yoytzim. He could be moich and say, I can't sleep. People come in, I can't sleep. If a person wants in his own apartment to start building pots and pans, he wants to build chairs and tables and then go out to the shuk and sell it there, he could do it. A downstairs neighbor cannot be moich. I can't sleep. And the Mishnah finished with Kol Tanaka Shabbos Rabbah, but that's a separate issue. The Gemara says because you can always make noise from the learning Torah. Chazal made a special exemption for that. Okay. So before we go to Shulchan Aruch, so there's a main divide between most Rishonim that are learning the Mishnah, the Rambam and the Ramban and the Rashba. Basically, the Parsha, the Mekubetzes, others learn like this. The Mishnah, the beginning of this, there's like a steer in the beginning of the end. In the beginning, you say that if people coming in and out to your apartment, I can't sleep, I could complain. But if you take a Tanur Rechaim, go bang, 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 I can't complain. Does it make sense? So that some of the Rishonim say that you have no right to complain about noise. The neighbor could have 10 babies crying all night while the parents are sleeping and smoking azoi.
But banging on pots too, or just kids?
No, there was a bocher, a couple, that once came to tell me, but whatever, talking to me about his inyonim, but he said that now he realizes what his parents were doing when he was young. Because in the morning it was always an ice box in his parents, and the ashtrays were always full, and it always smelled a little funny in their bedroom when he came in the morning. So lahevi yedua that eventually the kids chap what you're doing. Not that I think that oil of here is smoking at night. I think people have other things on their heads.
In our society, it was only cigarettes.
No, it was.
That wasn't what he was talking about. In our society, there's a warranty of habitability, an absolute warranty. My son is an outstanding landlord-tenant attorney for landlords, but a warranty of habitability is absolutely firm. He could go to court if the landlord will not take notice of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Interesting, because it'll be relevant in a minute. We'll talk about this. So so somebody trying to say no noise. You can't complain about noise, but you could complain about foot traffic that's clogging up. The Mishnah says any yochalishin doesn't mean it. It's a metaphor. You have hundreds of people getting in and out in the courtyard. But it doesn't mean noise, because that's the pshat. But the Rambam holds no. Noise is a very serious issue. And in the Seif, in the Mishnah, it's talking about the guy has already a chazaka that he's been using his Tana V'Rechaim. Probably, you could say that according to the Rambam, that if a person has a certain chazakah, he can't go beyond that chazakah. If you had always a chazakah that in the morning he would do his Tana Rechaim, now he does it in the middle of the night, you could complain because it's all based on a chazakah. Okay, let's learn in Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch Hashemishbet, Kuf Novav Sev Beis says Chanusha B'Chotzer, Yochanan Mashchein Limchas B'Yod V'Leim Ala Einin Yochanan Lisha Mekoil Anechnosam V'Yotzim Ala Oisam Alachte B'Chanusa V'Mercha B'Shuk. That they could say we don't want foot traffic in our courtyard, but he's allowed to build in his house. Because he has a chazaka. If he didn't have a chazaka, he wouldn't allow to do it. The second shit that says no, even if he just moved in today and he starts banging and he makes noise, there's nothing you can do about it. A lot of Sheilos, it's a contemporary Sheilos Shuvas talk about it. Upstairs neighbor moved in with little babies, and the babies are screaming by night, and the parents are not taking care of the babies, or even if they are taking care of them. You know how it is when you have 3 kids running around, and you chop one, the other 2 are still running. So it takes time till you get law and order into the house. The Viola downstairs neighbor is an elderly couple, and they can't live with it. So good. But the second sheet here Shulchan Aruch says, you don't have to have a chazaka. V'dafke b'nei adam b'riim, avalim hem choylim, v'akol mazik yam, yechoylim limches. Okay. So the shaila is, if in this case is a little different. I'm not sure legally because legally it was negeya, because even though whatever the goyim say is not negeya, but there is a minhag olam, there is normal usage of your house. The shaila is, if the upstairs neighbor says, I'm not banging, I'm just walking, and the floor is paper thin, what should I do? So I'm not sure. Is it clear? Absolutely. According to the law? Do they have to make sure it's quiet?
There's a question of reasonableness in terms of being above a family that hears you're walking. It would be necessary for the person or the landlord perhaps to install some kind of a flooring, not just wood, but something above the wood, like a rug, which would mute. So that is a requirement.
The landlord, no, the tenant.
It would generally be the tenant who is making the noise. He has to be aware that there are people below. Look, if he's on the ground floor, he's not going to be disturbing anybody.
I have a different answer.
If he is disturbing somebody below
all
him.
the people that all they hear all day are just people walking. It drives them crazy. There's nothing else going on in their lives. So,
yeah, he would have to install. He would have to put rugs where
I have a better answer.
I'm telling you, absolutely.
Right. No, but here the guy was not knocking. He's walking. A couple, they're walking. It's not, but they're walking and walking and walking and walking, and it's ready. This couple that I'm dealing with in the Mala mentioned, they go to sleep normal time, they wake up normal time, they have a baby to put the baby to sleep.
Yeah.
And the floor is paved, and they say they hear banging. It's not. The guy's not banging. He's just walking.
I have a better answer for this.
Yeah.
What they could first try is soft music. The people downstairs should put on soft music. If that doesn't work, you put on a Torah tape. A Torah tape for sure. So 4 years ago, sent over a story. A man had a servant. And one day he sees the servant has a Gemara. He said, "What are you doing with a Gemara?" "I see, whenever you take the Gemara, you fall asleep." I did the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if you could try Rabbi Hill. Rabbi Hill is very good, Rabbi. What's the name of the story?
You could do noise machines. People use noise machines.
Yeah, that's not going to.
She's a very
The noise machine downstairs, you mean?
In their house.
Yeah, so he's concentrating on his machine. He's not going to hit upstairs machine.
Not about upstairs, in the kids' room, the baby's room.
Right, the baby's room. You can put. They have a noise machine.
my house sounds like an airplane.
Huh?
My house sounds, he doesn't hear it.
What?
A noise machine. My house sounds like an airplane.
Right. So it's something that's good for kids.
Very good for kids. Very soothing, right?
The problem is when they get older, they take it to camp and they take it to school with them because they can't sleep without it.
Right. It's, okay. So let's move over to the Shiloh of Gezel Shena. So I always thought Gezel Shena is like, what is it? No, it's interesting, misconception. Gezel Shena, So you have today, like Chveis and Rav Steinman, or you have Rav Chaim Kanievsky. They have they say Baba Maisa. It doesn't this doesn't exist. He says there's no one in Shas and no one in Poiskim. There's no such a thing. It doesn't exist. The Balei Musa created it. Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, to him, this was a chiyuv deraisa. He was very. It wasn't a joke to him. If he went in the town and he saw that there was like a loose door banging, like when he would go and he would personally fix it. He was like very. He felt that it's that this is not a joke. Chofetz Chaim, for example, the war. But the others say, nah, this is mibeis medrashim shel balei musar. This whole thing, Gezel Shena. They invented this thing. They fabricated this Gezel Shena.
Also helps with Shalom Bayis.
So I just brought a few things over here. The bottom line is, Azoy, look, there's no machlokes betzim, if you think about it. Those that say that it's also think about it. There is a mitzvah of a hafta l'rach kamoichem, adaloch soni l'chaver l'tavit. So I mean, what's a? I know it's dvorim. And Rav Nevensal Yerushalayim has a beautiful word. Rav Nevensal said that the Gemara says in Sanhedrin, Bror loy misa yofa. Hafta l'rach kamoichem, bror loy misa yofa. But how did the Israelis say it? No, but the Sfardim, wie sagen sie? Mita. Bror loy mita yofa. Ja, Hafta l'rach kamoichem. Steht bror loy misa yofa. Sagt Rav Nevensal, bror loy mita yafa. Lozim schlafen. Bror loy mita yofa. Anyway, look at the Rav Klein has there's a lot of ayahs that
the Sfarim say acharei b'chamin acharei chamin b'Shabbat chayav mita.
Yeah, but Yisrael is not a joke. Okay, but no, the nafkamina is that it's not ironclad. If someone, if it's mitzad avos Yisrael, then what's if he has the keys to your car? So it's not inherently wrong, but you have to wake him up to get your keys. So look at the second paragraph in Menashe Klein and his Sefer Chelik Yud Beis. He says, "B'dvar sheshal." So he found a nice mocker, by the way. For the first pasuk, Krishma, wake me up, and even if it's a tsar, wake me up to say it. The further, don't be mitzar me. Rabbi Yosef berei the Rabba avuach hechi ave ovid amalei bepsuka kama ave komatzar and nafshe. My father used to wake me up and be metzar me. He would drain me the cup in the morning to wake me up. My father would wake me up to say Krishma. But psika kama tvei lo ave metzar nafshe. Mavur, so says Rav Klein, is mavur the mitzvahs Krishma rak apostle Krishna metzar nafshe mishum shein aval yoyse. Mashe was, why wouldn't he be metzar for more? I mean the rest is chotcha mitzvah that Rabbanon. So we see that being mitzvah someone not to sleep is a serious thing. I think it's a cute raya.
Not sleep, no.
Ah?
Was mitzvah? Nicht losen schlafen? Nee.
Yeah, nicht losen schlafen. Yeah, that's a pshat. He would mitzvah them uvek, nicht losen schlafen. Okay.
No.
Yeah, the Shulchan Aruch others say that it doesn't mean mamash. He would wake him up for the rest of Krishma. Why? The rest of Krishma didn't have to say it with such clarity. Right. I hear. He has a good time on his raya. His taina is that it's not the pshat that yeah. I hear you have a good taina on his raya.
Somebody for say that yeshiva.
It's the same thing like this. What do you mean? You have to mitzar and tvei. What do you mean? So Rabbi Yisrael Salanta said he said that I look at Moedis Agdolim Rabbi Yisrael Lois Tzaddik. Rav Kanevsky Rav Shtema say it's derech hamusar. But the bottom line is it's brought in it's in Sheilos Tshuvas that number one it's Gezel Shen is Avos Yisrael and I know it's bottom. Look in the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch. The Alter Rebbe is very strong about this. The Alter Rebbe writes Shem Sheino b'mekach umem kach ino b'dvarim shenem alaytoni ishes amisa v'yireisim l'kechaz v'nos dvarim v'der l'nos dvarim v'nos moment shezu nitli l'sham v'ze lo nitli l'sham v'ze b'momem v'ze b'glufa v'atzoyek l'nos dvarim nena v'yad v'ish shetzar alei v'korav l'hoyre d'moz. I would say to the person that's having this problem that he should really try nechusa with the neighbor because the neighbor is telling me is a from Yid to show him that this is the emes. They know it's a very serious thing. Every Yid wants the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and like the birth Nayim Yom that the old skanim that were by the Zman of Bashem told Alter Rebbe, he used to say, "Hab hot the Yid v'tei b'shadir hot ham to atoy v'Yidin v'tei b'shadir atoy v'ton." But that's just the way it is. It's a Parsha inyan of Avas Yisrael. Okay, next shailach. Chita kusemes loy nuku. I touched on it in the summer, but I wasn't matzah the thing. There is a shaila, what's the bracha on certain morning cereals? So there is a company, Unger's, and I try to buy as much as I could, especially when there's a shaila of Pas Yisrael, Bishul Yisrael, and Baruch Hashem, we live in New York, it's available. It's not like, maybe it costs a few more cents, but why not? It's available, and when it's shaila of Bishul Pas Yisrael, so they have a lot of these cereals, they're called the Unger's. So they have a sticker on it giving you the hechsher. And they tell you what's the thing, and then they have like a little thing by two of them. They say shittas at moed zaken because rice is shahakol.
Hechsherim,
Yeah, but besides they also give you a sticker with the bracha.
They write shittas at moed zaken.
Yeah, so they make it sound as if everything else is shittas at moed zaken. Just one lagabe the lagabe. It's as if everything else is shittas at moed zaken is compatible with what they write, but it's not mamish the case. So on Sugar Crisp they write on Sugar Crisp on the sticker there that it's boide mine mezoinus and alamichim. That's what they write. Well, most poiskim today. I'm talking about there's a long tshuva, more than one tshuva, but there's one long tshuva from the Moshe Feinstein. There's in those Sfarim Brochus booklets bring from. I'm just looking for that sticker because I took a picture of it. That's not coming up quick enough. I'll go upon him, but that's what they have it on the sticker. They have on the sticker that the bracha is mezoin. Oh, here it is. I got it. Here.
What is it made from? What is it made of?
I'll explain to you in a minute. You see, they have here three things. They have Adama, Mezoinus. They have Berchosan Adama, Berchosan Mezoinus, Berchosan Shahakul. So, Adama is cornflakes, cornburst, and frosted flakes. And Mezoinus is honey buzzers, honey oats, scooters, and golden puffs. Golden puffs. And also they have a thing there that afterwards Alamichya. Crisp rice is mezoinus, but l'shulchan aruch harav it's shahakol. Mashma that everything else is
this on every cereal box?
Yeah, on every Unger cereal box. I took a picture. Yeah,
they have about everything.
Yeah. All the products they make, all the products they cover. So, but the poil, most of the poiskim today don't hold that way. The Moshe Feinstein, the Reb Shlomo Zalman, they quote and Sfarim, and many other poskim that they hold that no, it's Boide Pri Adama. So I want to explain,
Sure.
and I think
Rice
that's
Krispies. They say that some people hold Mazelis.
yeah. So we'd get that another time.
You
The Alter
said
Rebbe clearly holds that anything rice is shahakol.
The Mishnah says it's Adama. Rice.
I wrote, but he writes that it's mezoinus,
yeah.
and the Alter Rebbe is also maskim to that. But I want to show you why it's not true. The Alter Rebbe is not masking to that. The Alter Rebbe doesn't talk about it. Versteht sich in the Zman of the Alter Rebbe. Most people didn't munch on, didn't have sugar crisp for sugar crisp.
They didn't make it in Russia.
Oh, we're talking about sugar crisp.
My brother Yechiel Michal, when he got married,
It doesn't
so
come to
his mechutna at the Yerushalmi, so he asks my Zayda. But in Rusland, we give them the minig when they throw on the chosin. What were they throwing? My Zayda had a field day. He got laughed. He couldn't stop laughing. Yeah, he said, "We give up." He says, "How many?" We give over from the chosin. We had was essen mechlal. We had played the. It wasn't we give over from the chosin. Anyway, so. But I want to show you what the Alter Rebbe writes, and I think that the best anhoge is taka to make a Boide Pri Adama. So first I want to explain what's sugar crisp. So they take chito kosemis and it's basically similar to popcorn. They put it in this. It's to do with pressure. It's a lot of it. It's a lot of heat, and then they open up, push it like a gun. It's a gun. You can see and then they open up the top of the gun, and they go. These little things go flying. These chitim go flying out, and they get exposed to the ear, and then they expand. It has something to do with pressure. Just similar to how popcorn pops.
The rice cakes.
Similar to rice cakes, similar to popcorn. It's a zabazach. It's applied heat, and then there's a pressure, and then they go flying. But it's more pressure just than the popcorn. You need more heat, more pressure. But if you have the right machine, then some people make it as for a snack. Like in the streets of some third world countries, not third world countries or whatever, they have like these vendors stand on the street with this thing,
Pop, yeah.
and they pop them, and then they go flying, and they catch them like in these nets, and then they fill up a cup and they sell it to place for whatever it is, $1.50. So that's sugar crisp. So they add sugar, and then they add sugar on top of it. They add sugar on top of it, and tesefta is the meruba al ikr, but there's plenty of sugar there. Okay, so that's how they make it. Now, some companies, and it's important to understand how they make it. Some companies, in order for sanitary reasons, they also first steam to take out any bacteria. They steam the chitim first. First they steam. It seems like after they steam them, they're not roi la'achila, but they do steam them. Why is it negayah to know that they steam them? Because today, between the poskim today, there's a big discussion if steaming is considered bishul or not. That's negayah l'gabe bishul yisrael. Anything which is steamed, is it considered bishul or not bishul? It's very important l'gabe bishul. L'gabe, is it bishul yisrael or not bishul yisrael? So it's like an unsettled issue. No one, there isn't like a consensus that it's like a shaila. Is it bishul or not bishul? Okay, so that's.
The Sheilos is my name, and never was a Sheilos before.
Yeah, they didn't have steaming so much. Yeah,
Put it in a pot with some.
I guess they didn't. But yeah, they put it in a pot. They put it. They cooked it. So they did. So this is the shaila that poskim have. Okay, so now, so like this. Let's learn the Alter Rebbe in a Venik, and then I'll explain what the Moshe says and what the Shlomo Zalman. Let's read it inside. Ma brocha sugar crisp. Lefi roi poiskes v'nenen b'chasa b'ere pri adoma. Igris Moshe is the main one. He has a long tshuva, 7-8 pages. Orechaim b'chelik dalad. The boxes of the Unger writes b'chasa mezonos, and he writes it. He makes it as if this is the Alter Rebbe shitta. It's not true. Look in the shitta of the Alter Rebbe. This is what the Alter Rebbe writes. When do you make a mezonus and alamicha on the grains? It's b'derech achila. What's up, shah? You're going tavshil anasa mekemach oidogan atzma shenechlak l'shnayim l'shloisha v'yoyse. It has to be flour, or the grain was split into 2 and 3 pieces. And that's called daisa. I feel a loy nechlak, even if it wasn't split in half. The klipa was taken off. And that's a derech to go in her rifais. I'm sorry, I typed it. I made it the typo. Rifais shelsa oidim. So either you chop the wheat in half, and then you cook it, or you just take off the shell and you cook it. And that makes it a boide minimazonus. According to the first shitta, barley soup, mushroom barley soup, vegetable barley soup is boide minimazonus. Second opinion disagrees. I want to put mushroom barley soup aside. Maybe we'll talk about it next week because I have something to say about it. But the pashtus, the first shitta for sure holds as mazonus. Second one, no. Achi ismachu, the grain has to become soft. Not only that, v'yedopku, they have to have dveikus. They have to get glued together. Hagarinim zelazeh mireva bishul, so much cooking and get glued together. Avol, okay, that's the machloikis. Avalim hu shalom shalahusa klipasoi, if it's whole and the klippa never came off, v'loin esmach, and they didn't get soft. Why? Eretz Yisrael, when the Eibishter said that Eretz Yisrael is a special Medina, a special Eretz Yisrael, Eretz Shein Hashem Alakecha Bo, Eretz Asher Lo B'Miskenos Techa V'Alechem, Lo Yisachsel Koil Bo, Eretz Asher V'Ne Barzel Mar, Eretz Chitus Oida, it meant the chitim that is turned into lechem or chitim that turned into daisa. And that's the shvach Eretz Yisrael. Verstehtach, the chitim of Eretz Yisrael have an unbelievable kedusha, an unbelievable tam toiv, even if it's not eaten as lechem. But lapel, the shvach, where's nika, the shvach of Eretz Yisrael, when you eat it, kederach achilosoi, either as lechem or as daisa. Otherwise, you make a body pri adama. So it has to be very clear here. Kloyas, when they roast chitim, right? In those days, the best snack for children were kloyas ve'agoizim. Chazal mention it all the time. Kloyas ve'agoizim. Kloyas means that you take chitim or kusmin and you put it in the oven. You roast it. You take it out. You take a little salt. You put on top of it, and that was the old days peanuts. Ashtot peanuts. That's what they ate. They didn't have peanuts. They had kloyas. Kloyas ve'agoizim. That was the kloy. That was a very geschmack of Michael. So, but still, the bracha is adoma. Still, the bracha is adoma. It's a geschmack of Michael. It has nothing to do with the royal achila, not royal achila, maizen or not maizen. It's a geschmack of kloyes vegoizim, delicious. Everyone loves kloyes vegoizim, just like you like potato chips and peanuts. It's just that this is not the chashivus of Eretz Yisrael. So therefore, it's adoma. So what do we see here? That the bottom line is that there is a machloikis here. There is a machloikis, basically, first shita holds that the grains have to be cooked. As long as it's chopped in half or the peel is off, it's cooked. Mazoinus. Second shita holds no, it has to become soft and glued together. The Alter Rebbe doesn't paskin. So the Alter Rebbe doesn't paskin. The new Shulchan Aruch that came out, the Alter Rebbe, so they say that the Alter Rebbe really did paskin. Where did the Alter Rebbe paskin? Because the Alter Rebbe says later, "Aval im hu shalom shaloi husok lipasoi." Then it's b'rei pri adama. I cannot think of a more dumb raya. I'm not going to shuldik. Alter Rebbe wants to say where l'chol adayis the bracha is b'rei pri adama. So the Alter Rebbe says, then we all agree it's B'rei Pri Adama. The other case is a suffix. The Alter Rebbe was not machriya. And that's the way the Avram Chaim Noah holds. So it's not like I'm saying. Hey, no, this is also. It's not my chiddush. I'm telling you the way the Avram Chaim Noah learned. And to stick with a pasuk like Avram Chaim Noah, you can't go wrong. So therefore, like this. In the Alter Rebbe shit. So like this. So now let's talk about Lamaisa. So, what should be the bracha? According to the Yeshayimrim, sugar crisp never got glued together. What's the shaila? They never got glued together. So what's the shaila? It's they don't. The fact that later you put in the milk and if it gets mushy, the sugar crisp they're separate. They never got glued together. They don't get each piece is separate. So according to the second opinion, for sure it's adom. Sheilos is according to the first opinion, because the peel is off, and maybe steaming is cooked. But who says steaming is cooked?
The peel is off?
The peel
falls off.
sort of off. Right, but you could say it's off. There's so many sveikas here. Is the peel? Not everyone steams it, and not everyone holds that steaming is cooking. And so some say that they steam it. But they don't want to steam it in order to cook it, to take away and it's not roy lachila after they steam it. And the din is if you do afiyah after bishul, the din is afiyah. So this is even the first opinion. Maybe this is like kloyes. So according to the second opinion, it's for sure adoma because they didn't get glued together. According to the first opinion, says Ramosha, you have like svek, and the chazaka is that the bracha is by the pri adoma. So make by the pri adoma. That's what Ramosha says. Make by the pri adoma. I don't see why the Alter Rebbe would not be compatible with that. The Alter Rebbe here holds that there's a machloikis, and the Alter Rebbe is not machriya. The Alter Rebbe is not machriya. So according to the second opinion, they're not glued together. It's adama. According to the first opinion, so it has to be bishul. Is the sugar crisp considered bishul or not? You have 10 sveikas here. Did they steam it? Did they not steam it? And if they steam it, why did they steam it? Did it become roid or not? The steaming bishul is not considered bishul. If a shur has a chazaka to be adama, so why not make adama? Like the Moshe says, or Shlomo Zalman says. So I saw an article from one of the ayonim in the Unger, one of the
They say shahar. They say that Alter Rebbe says decision.
no, a sugar priest, they're mezoinus.
Oh, they say
Mezoinus, they say
Alter Rebbe.
is mezoinus. They say mezoinus, and they write a whole thing, and they got Rabbi Vosner to agree with them, but I don't know. So there's a guy, he's actually a cousin.
You have to check it, just because they say Rav Vosner, maybe it might be different.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They said that Rabbi Vosner was masking to them. So actually, the guy that.
That's the major thing.
So, but no, they have a long marocha. This guy wrote a sefer. He actually is a cousin. He's a dying in what's it called from my wife's side, the Vidas. They're big in the New Square. So he wrote a long article. He says because it becomes so soft, and that's Maisa Bishul, Derech Bishul, and the whole thing at Ayin and Gabi Shabbos, it would be considered. I don't understand. I don't understand what you're talking. Chidushim. It was not cooked. It was not cooked. It was not cooked. Huh?
Maybe they cook it.
No one cooks it. Most is that they steam it.
He doesn't know the Metzias. He doesn't know the
No, he knows the mitzvahs. He says, but it's so edible. It's so geschmack. Klois v'goizim are also delicious. It has nothing to do with geschmack or not geschmack. The thing is that
So guys make a dama
it's adama. Klois is adama. Doesn't matter. Klois 100%. No machloikas. No poisik. No one disagrees that klois are adama. It's delicious. But not in the gay if it's delicious or not delicious. Kloyas is roasted wheat, and roasted wheat. So now granola we'll leave aside. We'll talk about sugar crisp. The emes is granola also. And a lot of the poskim hold that it's adama for similar thing. Also they say it because, but the granola it seems that some companies today do cook it. So it's a shayla also mitzias.
Then it's Mazonis.
Then it would be mazonis. If it's cooked, it was mazonis. The whole issue is. It's not just a machloikis, and it's also machloikis and metzias. What's happening? Some companies do different processes, but sugar crisp seems that it is what it is. That some companies steam it, some don't. But the bottom line is the way they get popped is from heat, that which is kloyis. It's roasting. It's not cooking it. So therefore, the Moshe and Shlomo Zalman holds adoma. Agav urcha, the bracha achron is a little bit of a problem because. The Alter Rebbe brings that the Tosfos holds. The Tosfos says that if you eat kloyes, roasted wheat, that the bracha achrona maybe should be al adama val pri adama. The Rabbeinu Tam said that. Then the Rabbeinu Tam himself said that this is a little off the wall. So he said that Rabbeinu Tam said better to eat it in the Suda. The Alter Rebbe says nochen lochash l'devreim lichatchila. You're going to ruin the whole cereal business if you say that you have to eat it b'toich suda. The same thing with granola. If you're going to tell me I'm going to have to eat, you're going to ruin the whole. It's a multi-million-dollar business. Granola cereal. If I have to eat
$1 billion.
I'm sorry, you're right. If you're going to tell me I have to eat it in a suda, you're going to ruin the whole business here.
You imagine the post company will take it in Torah.
Yeah, you're going to ruin the whole business here. If you have to be not. So anyway, the Alter Rebbe says noch and lochish l'devreim lechatchila. So taka lechatchila, but lamaisa, if you're going to eat a granola or sugar crisp, I would say, to me, the more the yosher way is to make a beide pri ha'adama and a beide nefashas rabbis.
What about a granola bar?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what we're talking about.
I'm talking about sugar press and granola bar. I would say until further, unless you find out that this company makes it differently and they're cooking it, unless you hear otherwise, I would make beide pri ha'adama and a beide nefashas. Versteht sich? The Alter Rebbe says nochen lochish l'devreim lechatchila because Rabbeinu Tam says it's a shayla, maybe it's a adama, a pri adama. It's a very funny thing. Rabbeinu Tam himself admits because we have 3 columns. We have ala michya, ala gefen, and ala pedis. And Rabbeinu Tam wanted to add a 4th one. Excuse me.
What would he add it for? Just for
Nobody has it.
No, he himself says that.
What was the 4th one?
Ala dama val pri adama.
all Adamas?
No, for all things that are grains, all kloyas. all from the 5 grains. If you put it in the oven and you roasted it, and you put some salt in it,
Because
then
it's
you
grain, because it's grain.
because it's grain. So he himself says that's a little off the wall. He never saw it in the Shas, and then he didn't see it in any
He
of the.
said the part you shouldn't do.
He said, yeah, but he said you should eat it b'toich hasudin. Alter Rebbe says, noch elochish levreim lechatchila. Anyway, well, lemaisa, I would say sugar crisp and granola is boire priya doma and boire nefoshes rambas, not mazonis nalamichya. Okay, next shayla we'll leave for next week or 2 weeks. Next week, I think we're learning Basa Lagani, so we'll see. Okay.
So sushi you brought up is mazenas.
I didn't say sushi mazonis.
Bishar rice is.
I said shahakal.
Shahakal.
Shahakal. I never said
I
sushi
thought you
mazonis.
said once a different time that I heard you say no.
No
But
way.
the rice is totally it's like a bowl. The rice.
So good. Alter Rebbe says shahakal.
But doesn't he say over here that if it's together?
No, rice is different. It's not from the Chameshes Mini Dogo.
Rice is pachama.
It's a suffix. What's good morning?
And what should we say on a cereal like Pasta Flakes?
Adama.
Adam. Okay.
Adama.
Interesting.
Adama.
Popcorn is.
Even if it's ground
No.
down to not a sheet, and then they reconstitute it.
I don't know. It's also it's a shayla, but
Okay.
you could make shahak. I mean, I'll call them shahakli with the yotza.
How,
It depends. At some companies, depends really how they make them. It's really a shayla how they make them. If a person makes shahakl, it's not a terrible thing.
De meiden van de Yochanan Kugel, weet je mij van hem?
What's the mile van your
Dat
shamakol?
is een beetje bij Hazamozen.
Yeah.
Dat is wat we willen.
Very
Dat
good.
is mensen zeggen, ja, dat is in mijn woestel.
Yeah, that's a bush.
Ja, zo wat, maar.
Yeah. Get it yeah.
how about a cereal like cinnamon toast?
Ik zie die van Bregen, maar dat mag wel.
How about a cereal like cinnamon toast punch?
Sounds like mazonis. I don't know.
Okay.
It sounds like
Got
mazonis. It sounds like it's flour and water that's baked in the
Okay.
oven. It sounds like total mazonis.
Don't eat it, it's not good for you.
You're absolutely. I shouldn't be eating that cereal.
No, but you know, it's if the alternative is starving for the day.
Dat is geen Engelse met zwaar.
Yeah.
Shkoyach,
Yeah.
Buchem Teel.
Yeah.